Emptiness plays a key role in self-realization because when you look for something in particular, where is my I? What is myself? You find nothingness. You find emptiness. You find transparency. You may start with arising thoughts and you look at those thoughts and inquire, what are those thoughts? What are they really? They seem to be bubbling up and then disappearing. They want your engagement. And if you engage, of course, then you play with them. But when you recognize they're like bubbling energies, thoughts are bubbling energies, you recognize that you are not your thoughts, and they were only these bubbling energies that you were interacting with, and sometimes assuming that you are them, but then you find out that you are actually not. And then you feel a bit more open, more spacious, because you recognize that they simply appear in your head and then disappear, but your head is still here. Your head did not appear like thoughts, and it's not going to disappear like thoughts. It was there, and it will be here as well. So your head, we can say, is a space for thoughts to come and go. And then your body is a space for feelings to come and go. And today we will look more and more at this emptiness, familiarizing with emptiness, familiarizing with the emptiness instead of content. Like for the time being, we can be free from the content. Most of lives are spent in a constant engagement with the content. Thoughts, emotions, for regular majority. But then on a spiritual domain, nothing much changes really because you're still busy engaging with energies. Now, spiritual thoughts, spiritual feelings, energies. It's the same engagement, just in a different way, in an upgraded way. But still engagement. And emptiness is usually overlooked, even for spiritual people, because all these emotions and feelings, love and bliss, is more tangible than emptiness. You will say it's nice to feel those nice feelings. It's, keeps you busy to engage with energies. But emptiness is still overlooked because what's the value of emptiness? One asks, if there's nothing, then what I should do there? Or what's the point of it? There's nothing to do there. There's nothing in it. So one enjoys having something. You get this nice blissful experience. It's like you go to a teacher. Many people go to a teacher, a spiritual teacher, and they give them this, wonderful, big experience, love, bliss, joy, ecstasy. And then, when time comes to leave, they say, oh, this is such an amazing experience. And now I can go home, and now I can keep that experience in me, in my memory, and I have enough food for the next, 3, 6 months, a year. Just knowing that I had that big thing, it gave me lots of food, and I'll last for the next 3, 6 months, a year, until my mind, will become not satisfied again. The food bank expires, and now I need another big experience. So where can I get that? More food. A good spiritual teacher gives you nothing, gives you more nothingness, gives you more emptiness, more openness, takes away the content, takes away that fullness of stuff that one carries within. So many years ago, I recognized that the law of abundance is always real. Because many years ago, I realized that I have so much stuff that I don't need. These thoughts, I don't need them. Well, what are they for? They have no use to me. Feelings, I don't need them, most of them. They just disturb my peace. These energies are amazing, entertaining, wonderful, challenging, difficult. Probably I could live without them too. I realized I got so much stuff that I don't need. My goodness. And then I was grateful to the universe. I in the Western world, you always feel this lack of this, lack of that. And I realized that the universe gave me so much, too much, to be honest, just too much. And then I directly realized this law of abundance, that I just got too much stuff. So then I was looking for a way how to become more empty, and starting to be willing to let go, The next question that arises is, if there is so much stuff in me and I don't really need it, And you kind of have to arrive to that point of realizing that you don't need it. Because some minds will argue and justify that, I do need that stuff, take this away, that away, but I'm going to keep this. It's like a market negotiation. So you have to negotiate with your mind to understand what you need and what you don't. But I came to a point to realize that emptiness is better than anything else that comes and goes. Then I realized, can I lose emptiness? Well, that's more difficult to lose because it's always here. And if I am all that stuff that is arising and identifying with all that stuff, then probably I should get to know emptiness better because it doesn't come and go. And it made a complete sense to realize that probably I am that emptiness because it is fundamental. A feeling of I arises in the emptiness. Oh, that's the I. I feel I am. The feeling of I am arises, the I. And now I feel that I am. It's, it feels as if me. It feels like there is an assumption arising. That's me, an assumption. It feels as me, yeah. It's a feeling. In the mind, immediately it's an assumption that this is me. This feeling is me, and the mind confirms it. How interesting. But then after 20 minutes, 1 hour, it kind of goes, this confirmation, yes, that's me. And then this feeling I am also goes. And then it just disappears. And then it struck me like, oh, if this feeling I am goes, it's not me. It just goes. The feeling of I am goes. And what stays is emptiness. And in this emptiness, this feeling I am comes up, and then it dances the lila, play of life. It expresses its forms and shapes and bountiful expressions, like a whole theater of what this feeling of I am produces. And then, of course, when the feeling of I am meets another feeling of I am, there's another person with the feeling of I am. Oh, let's dance together. Let's see what we can produce together. Because now there is two of us, two feelings of I am. And then it gets a bit more complicated, isn't it? It gets very complicated. When one feeling of I am meets another feeling of I am, oh, the possibilities are endless of what may happen. And if both feelings of I am come down into emptiness, and they both would recognize it's just a game, it's just a rising play of I am, and it is arising in emptiness. And these two feelings of I am then wake up and see emptiness. And how many emptiness are there? One. The same and only. So then those two feelings of I am would awaken to the oneness, to the one emptiness. and recognize that that's the true ground that they share, the true ground of sharing, the true scene of the play, the true place of expressions and diversity. So it's the same with every one of you here now, having this sense of you are-ness, that you are, that you're this female, that you're this male over here, having this sense and feeling that you are. And for a moment, if we pause it, if we pause those natural assumptions, then we may awaken to recognize the emptiness present here, the space of mutual experience, the space in which all these separate I amnesses, male, female I amnesses, spend time together in this one emptiness. And the goal is to familiarize with this emptiness, to start to affirm to your mind that it's okay for a moment not to play the game of myself. It's okay for the moment not to need to have a fixed and rigid identity. You're not gonna lose something really. We're here in this emptiness. What you might lose is the fears and anxieties and uncertainties and worries and doubts and confusions, because that's what the mind is wrapped up in. And familiarizing with emptiness alleviates all these anxieties, fears. It alleviates the content to relax into this emptiness, to get to know it, this unknownness. Unknownness is very healthy for everyone, even at higher levels of consciousness. Unknownness is wonderful. It's a primary function. Unknownness. It's a very healthy way. The awakened person would confirm that I don't know what's really going on here, or I don't have any idea of my identity. If I would have an idea of my identity, I would be limited by it. If I would know, what's going on now, or what is this now, I would be limited, because it means I would be in the mind, in a limited perception. So the awakened person enjoys emptiness, enjoys unknownness. It's liberating. It's the most peaceful thing there ever is. In this peace of unknownness, emptiness, there is nothing for the mind to do. There is nothing for the mind to do. And that's it. Everything falls back And this unknownness, emptiness is enjoyed. And then you find it's so light. This emptiness is so light. It has no density. It has no substance, no name, no form, no concept, no limiting perception. It is actually so light, this emptiness, that it is the light. But the real light, not the light as in the energy of light, which has the speed of light. So that light is the energy of light, which can be quantified by the speed and length and weight and so on. No, it's lighter than this energy of light. This emptiness is brighter than the sun, because the sun shines where? In the emptiness. So which one is actually brighter? The sun or the emptiness? The emptiness is actually, it can host billions of suns. Huh? The emptiness is home for billions of suns. So the emptiness is the lightest thing there is. Is there any effort in the emptiness? The effort is only to let go of holding. Only that requires effort. Emptiness doesn't have any effort. There is no effort to be empty, but there is effort to let go of holding, to be empty. So that's a non-dual explanation of what is emptiness. Emptiness is openness. Is there anything more open than emptiness? No. It's just pure openness. Nothing holding, no substance, no name, no form. So this emptiness is, we can say, shining through your eyes, through your whole being, because your whole being is in this emptiness, and the awakening means awakening. It means seeing what's more real, what's more fundamental as your nature, your own nature. Consciousness is another word for this emptiness. And usually consciousness, it's already gaining certain substance in many minds. Oh, this light of consciousness, must be very bright and intense energy. So you start coming up with all sorts of associations and ideas of consciousness. Well, the real thing is emptiness, empty. Yes, it's open, it's empty. All stuff happens in it. You are happening in it. You are in it. And if you remove any fears and resistances, you will open to it. You will see, oh, I'm empty, amazing, I'm free, beautiful. I don't need to know anything. I'm really happy to be in this unknownness. But in this unknownness, I'm awake. I can see all the stuff. I can see these energies here now, doing their stuff. I can see this sense of I am arising, which is another kind of energy, very assertive, very, assumingly and engaging. I can see how stuff arises in me, in emptiness. And then it pretends, the energy pretends to be me, but I know that that's not really me. It's just a game, pretending. I am. And then another person, oh, I am too. Oh, here, look, two of us. Let's play the game. And when you relax, oh, I am emptiness. Oh, I am free. I don't need to play the game. I don't need to pretend this or that. I don't need to pretend to be spiritual. I don't need to pretend to be enlightened. I don't need to pretend anything, because it would just all appear. These appearances appear in the awakened emptiness. So any subtle substance, as you go deeper into consciousness, more and more things reveal that were assumed to be you. It's like you clear your conscious mind, and then you clear your subconscious mind, and then you clear your unconscious mind, and then you meet your soul and all these divine lights and souls and gods and goddesses, and the top of the subtlest realms. You meet all of that. Oh, I am divine, I am love, I am bliss, I am light. And of course, if you identify with all of that, you get limited. You soon realize that it becomes a limitation, and then things happen, things show up. So in the awakened emptiness, you can recognize how subtler and subtler things arise from deeper within, because there's a whole universe in you. In the conscious mind, with all the knowledge books and stuff, is small. It's a very small container. The subconscious mind is a bigger container. It registered not only what you consciously perceived in your life, but it registered everything, all of it, in your whole life, your subconscious mind. It's like a register. You went for a walk, you saw a trash can, your conscious mind, gave no importance to it, but in your subconscious mind, it still registered because you saw it or you experienced it. So it just gets registered, recorded. It's like unconditional recorder, your subconscious mind. And the unconsciousness is even deeper, even more buried, and things also come up from past lives and dreams and all that things. It comes even from a deeper place, and it's even vaster and bigger in itself. But it is a doorway to that emptiness. And more subtly, you start experiencing these fields of peace, fields of love, fields of happiness, fields of divinity, fields of bliss, and it's going to get subtler and subtler, higher and higher vibration and frequency. And that part is infinite. You know, the subtleness of the universe is infinite in frequency. It's an infinite frequency rising up in the more and more subtler and blissful vibrations. But you still have to realize that all of that happens in the awakened emptiness. Those subtleties happen in the awakened emptiness. And if you identify even with the most beautiful divine perfection light, which is called Sattva, sattvic quality, the most beautiful, divine, and harmonious and peaceful vibration and pure light. If you identify even with that, you will still be limited. So the awakened emptiness is the purest thing there is. Because it's a place for where the purity arises. This most subtle blissful vibration arises in the awakened emptiness, and also, most dense heavy stuff also arises in the emptiness. And only that is free. Only that is free. So there is a lot of familiarization to be done with the emptiness. And the more you familiarize with the nature of emptiness, it means that the more you will familiarize with the nature of content, with what appears in emptiness, what assumes identity, what assumes as you or other. In a higher LOCs, you don't have any more assumption of yourself, but then there's still the world. And then you say, oh, I'm in my lovely peace, but the world is trouble. Why these people cause me trouble? Why I have no peace? Everybody's constantly disturbing my lovely peace. So there's no me, but there is everybody else. I am spiritually awake, but everybody's not, and they're giving me trouble. So that's a higher level challenge of the world. Of course, nowadays at every level of consciousness, everybody has trouble with the world. But you know what I mean. That in a much higher LOC, you no longer assume your own identity, but then you get trouble with other identities. So the absolute awakened emptiness recognizes that even otherness, even the world and other identities are also appearances. Right here, right now, in this awakened emptiness. They are appearances. If you lost your own appearance of identity, there are other appearances of other identities, well, what does the awakened emptiness care about? It doesn't mind. It doesn't bother too much with other egos and identities. So there's a whole play of identities, these I amnesses of your own one and of the other ones, but awakening to emptiness. It's just the whole game drops. It drops to have a hook on you. That's what happens. It doesn't disappear as such. I will explain a bit more. It doesn't disappear. Like, it's not like suddenly, there is this body doesn't exist and you don't exist anymore. No, you are, of course, this body is here and you are there, and everything is as it is. Nothing really changed from this perspective, but in this emptiness, it's just that there's no hook. That this hook, it just drops away, and you recognize it was a hook. And if I take it seriously, this hook, then I will be in trouble. If I take myself seriously and I start defending and this and this and that, then trouble arises. And if you take seriously other people's hooks, then more trouble arises. And in the Awakened Emptiness, as life requires, you can still play a role of being a daughter, a son, a mother, a husband, a wife, a lover, a friend, a colleague. You can still play all these roles and perform your duties and responsibilities. It's just that you're not hooked on it. You're not identifying with it. You're not driving the sense of reality from it, the sense of realness, your identity from it. So you're not hooked by it. And then probably you're going to be a better being when you're not hooked up. You will be a better being. You're going to be a better friend, a better colleague, a better partner, because you're no longer hooked on pretending and defending and assuming and getting confused what is what, who you are and who is other. So those confusions drop away, and what you are left with, what is clarity? Clarity is emptiness. It's not knowing everything. That's not the clarity. And don't get smart there. Oh, I'm so clear about my life. I have all my goals set up in front of me. I know exactly what I'm doing. Yes, that's your genius brain, your smart mind, your intelligence talking. No, clarity is emptiness. It's unknownness. You're neither bothered by unknown nor by known. And that is clarity. You're open, you're empty, you're not hooked. So that's the nature of emptiness. It is your own nature, and the words awareness become obvious because I need no effort to be aware, since I am open, empty now. It's awakened awareness, same thing. And then consciousness, yes, I am conscious. I am conscious right now. I'm open right now. I'm empty right now. Same thing. And all these fancy ideas about this and that, they fall apart as extras. They're extras. So don't get hooked on these extras, because what I am talking about is emptiness. Awareness is emptiness. In the emptiness, you're naturally, effortlessly aware. And you don't even think about it, because it's just, you're aware, that's it, no effort. because you're empty, you're not hooked. Conscious, of course. Alert, yes. Relaxed, yes. You're not hooked. So that's the beauty of emptiness. And it's for me, it's the most beautiful thing. Because then you truly appreciate everything as it is. You appreciate the flower, this beautiful appearance. You appreciate, an elderly person walking down the street, and you say, wow, it's a beautiful elderly person. You see a cat, oh, that's a lovely creature. You appreciate all of it as it is. Even, we have a cat, and she makes a poop, and I just pick it up with the shovel, and it's like, oh, what a smell. Wow. It's appreciation. It's organic, natural. There is no mind to comment on it, oh, blah, 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 blah. There's no commentary about it. It's just a beautiful poop. That's what it is. So there's no commentary. There's no hook. No resistance. And all life happens in this appreciation of all of it as it is.